everybody. It is Friday, December the 7th, 2018, 77th anniversary of Pearl Harbor. It is the preparation day. It is the final day of the 8th Hebrew month of new beginnings. And tonight not only starts the weekly Shabbat, as every Friday night does, but tonight actually starts the 9th new moon. It is the beginning of the 9th month. 9 in Scripture means judgment. Hopefully we'll see judgment come down on all these satanic pedophiles this month. It's also a great month of celebration because the 25th day of the 9th month always, every year, begins Hanukkah, which stretches, it's the only feast that stretches between two Hebrew months. It always starts in the 9th month and goes through into the very beginning of the 10th month. So we'll be doing that later this January 1st to the 8th is when it falls this year. So here are the 4 pillars of my ministry. I apologize for the glare, but I do put this in my YouTubes underneath the videos of every YouTube I make except the ones on Shabbat. Oh no, I'm going to put this under ones of the Shabbat too. I just don't put my donation links below the ones on Shabbat. And I really wanted to make this video before Sabbath begins, and Sabbath has not begun yet here in California. So I'm going to make this video. And you know, when I do investigative journalism and reporting, I'm very different from a lot of people because I pray. I pray about how Yahshua, Jesus, wants me to report. And literally within a few hours, I got 2 different subscribers. They do not know each other. They live in drastically different parts of the world. And they both sent me this story. So I'm going to move on this, particularly because it hits me hard. Because I love Disney World. I used to go to Disney World. In fact, I went to Disney World literally this time last year. It was like my 3rd or 4th time being at Disney World. I had gone once as a child. My parents took me when I was 12, 13 years old, and then I went 3 times as an adult. So it's time for this idol to come down. So I'm going to link the video right below this one. This was published literally just yesterday on December 6th. It's called The Darkest Disney Park Secrets Revealed. And basically he proves that the CIA, the child sex trafficking front, aided Walt Disney in purchasing the land in Florida where Disney World is today. Now, I had already known some things about Disney because Fiona Barnett, if you go to her website, she talks about how when she was a little girl, she was raped and abused by Ted Turner at Disney World when she was just a little girl. So it looks like Walt Disney was a 33rd degree Mason, much like Billy Graham. He was a satanic pedophile, which is why he made so much stuff about children, why he catered to children so much. This is just unbelievably sick. And just in the last few years, I mean, literally since 2014 till now, and by the way, this has been reported by mainstream media. You don't even have to go to alternative media to find this out. They've shown that several employees, both at Disney World and Disneyland, have been arrested because they are pedophiles. They're known pedophiles, and they've been arrested. Now, if you try to do an internet search of the numerous amounts of kidnappings and children that go missing at the Disneyland and Disney World theme parks, you won't find anything because Disney has been very careful in scrubbing the internet. But you can actually go into the archives of even mainstream media news sources. There's a CNN a show from it's 2014 or maybe more recently where Anderson Cooper, that satanic pedophile, he's basically outing the pedophiles that have been arrested at Disney World and Disneyland. Now, Fiona Barnett actually talks about on her blog, if you go to her website, she talks about how at Disneyland in particular, the one here in Southern California, that it was designed and built with tunnels underneath the park, and that basically child sex trafficking goes on beneath those parks. Now, Fritz Springmeier, whom I actually met in person in Portland when he got out of jail back in 2010, Fritz Springmeier, who wrote the book Bloodlines of the Illuminati, he actually shows and documents very carefully that child sex sacrifices, blood, satanic rituals are done beneath both Disneyland and Disney World at night after hours. Now you might think, well, that sounds so fantastical. Well, there's a Club 33, and I know about this because they advertise it when you go to Disney World and they put it in literature. There's a Club 33 that's associated with both Disney World and Disneyland parks, but in order to get into that type of membership, it's anywhere from $30,000 to $50,000 a year. So basically only the super rich or elite can be a part of this Club 33. And they bill it as this like amazing experience that you can have. You can go to the parks after hours, et cetera, et cetera. Well, actually, it's a Freemason Satanic Pedophile organization is what it is. And these people are paying big bucks to have sex and to cannibalize children and babies that have been kidnapped at Disney World and Disneyland. So it's time for these theme parks to be shut down. To be shut down. President Trump needs to send the feds in to completely and totally shut these parks down. In fact, because the child sex trafficking CIA helped Walt Disney purchase particularly the land in Florida, basically they gave him all these loopholes in both taxes and regulations so that no one can touch Disney parks. In fact, if you go into Disney World itself, basically the United States Constitution does not apply in that area. Now, there are some things in this video that are not true. He tries to say that everyone has to have the wristband. That's not true. I went there a year ago. You don't have to get a wristband. You can actually just get a card, which is what I got, and you scan the card. But they can track you whether you have the card or the band, no matter what. And so they are basically trying to put a prototype out of the New World Order. And they made a good point, too, about Epcot Center, which is one of my favorite places to go to. All the nations, you can go to all these different nations. Of course, they conveniently leave out Israel. But they have all the nations there, and you go there, and it's like a one world type of New World Order. Now, this is so sickening because how many people spend so much money, how much money I've spent going to Disney World, and now knowing my money has gone to sustaining a child sex trafficking place. I thought maybe, after listening to Fiona Barnett for the last few months, I thought maybe it was only limited to Disneyland, and then that one instance that she said as a little girl where Ted Turner took her to this room in Disney World, that it was a one-time thing. No, it's actually an ongoing thing that's happening to this moment. The same child sex trafficking, satanic ritual abuse sacrifices that are going on right now beneath Oral Roberts in Oklahoma are going on right now in Orlando and right here in Los Angeles, in Anaheim, beneath these theme parks. This is ridiculous. How can we as Americans allow and even promote and pour our money into these theme parks where babies are being molested, eaten, cannibalized, sacrificed? This is so wicked. So I'm going to post this video right below. I'll post a reference to Fritz Springmeier's book, Bloodlines of the Illuminati. I'll post Fiona Barnett's website as well, where you can do some digging and research on her personal experience when she was a little girl, when she got raped and molested at Disney World. We should have nothing to do with these parks, and we need to have our president, we need to have our elected officials who, granted, a lot of them are satanic pedophiles themselves, but those who are truly the white hats, we need to say we demand these parks to be investigated, shut down, to hell with them saying that the Constitution doesn't apply to Disney World. You better believe it does. You better believe it does. We're not going to take that. No, we're not going to allow these satanic pedophiles to have a child sex trafficking ring in the heart of Florida and California and just say, oh, well, you know, they're an independent theme park. No. The CIA needs to be dismantled, and these two theme parks need to be totally